Dolce D'Angelo, and today we're gonna make sweet potato mini tarts. It's a perfect dessert for your Thanksgiving holiday. So the first thing you'll need to do is set your oven to 400 degrees. And what we're gonna be using to make these little mini tarts, you'll need like Pillsbury pie crust, or you can make your own pie crust if you want. So what you'll need to do is take out your pie crust to get it room temperature so when we roll it out, it won't crack. And you're just gonna leave it out on your counter and just let it sit there for a little bit. We're not gonna be using it for a few minutes. So the first thing you'll need is 6 tablespoons of butter, and you're gonna use your mixer. You want your butter to be soft, room temperature. And we're gonna also mix with your butter 3/4 cups of white sugar and a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. And you're gonna mix it so it gets like a little crumbly, because there's not enough butter in there to get it smooth and creamy, but just enough so the butter and the sugars incorporate together. Okay, next you're gonna add your 2 eggs. And what you'll need next is 3/4 cups of evaporated milk. Next, you'll need a 1/2 cup of instant vanilla pudding. And I think that's what makes these so yummy, the vanilla flavor in there. Now we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1.5 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. If you don't have pure, imitation is fine. So at this time we're gonna stop our machine and scrape down the sides. Make sure it's all mixed. There's nothing stuck to the bottom. Now for the last ingredient, what you'll need is 1 pound of canned yams. You can use fresh yams or sweet potatoes. You know, I actually use from a can, it's easier. You'll need about 1 pound. And what I did was I put it in my food processor where I wanted it really like whipped up. You want it to break down that potato really well. And you're gonna add that to the mixture. And mix it really well. Okay, so now what we're gonna do next is we're gonna put our mixture into a Ziploc bag. I like using a Ziploc bag because we're gonna pipe these. We're gonna be piping them after we bake our little mini pie crust. We're gonna pipe our mixture into it. So you can use a piping bag if you want. I like using a Ziploc because you close it up and then we're gonna cut a little hole after, and then all you're doing is you're gonna pipe it. So a little trick here, like I like doing, is just kind of like all in one shot. All right, so now you're gonna close your Ziploc bag. Get all the air out if you can. Kind of looks like baby food, right? I bet you babies will like this if we cooked it up and serve it to them. I put it on a plate and put it in my refrigerator because it'll keep it a little bit cool and it'll get a little bit hard so it's easier to pipe after. While we're making our little pie crust, our little tarts, this will stay in the refrigerator. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is you'll need a 24 mini muffin pan, or if you can't find a 24, they also come in 12. It'll just take you longer. You'll get about 48 sweet potato mini tarts, which are the perfect little bite-sized dessert that are so yummy. So what you'll need to do is you'll need some flour. You're gonna dust some flour on your counter. Because when we roll out our pie crust, if any one of you make pies, your crust, you don't want it to get sticky to your counter. You're gonna roll out your pie, the crust. Just be very careful. As you're rolling, if it's still cold, it might crack. Don't worry about it because we're gonna use a rolling pin to roll this out a little bit more because you need them to be a little thinner. Dust your rolling pin as always. And you're gonna start just rolling it out. Always roll your pie crust from center out. And you're gonna roll it for about 1 inch all around more, about 1 inch to 2 inches. Make sure it's not sticking to your counter. You have enough flour. So what you need now is we need to make a circle to put inside each little mini cup here. So what I use, you can use a biscuit cutter. I just use a regular drinking glass, about 3 inches all around. So what you're gonna do now is just make your circles. what you're gonna do is before we put the circles in, you're gonna spray your tray with some Pam, just in case, because sometimes at the end we're gonna put some marshmallows in these and they'll be a little sticky. So this is how thin you want your little circle to be, almost kind of like translucent a little bit. So you're gonna take your circle and you're just gonna put it in there and start working it a little bit, kind of like pinch it to the side, just like that. That easy. You'll get about 22 to 24 in here. Depends how thin you roll out your crust. So growing up in Italian family during the holidays, like Thanksgiving and Christmas, our table was filled with all Italian desserts, from cannolis, sfogliatelle, cassata cakes, Italian cheesecakes, Italian cookies, you name it, it was there. Homemade even, lots of different pastries and goodies. The only thing is we never had pumpkin pie, apple pie, sweet potato pie, a blueberry pie. And I said, you know what, we need to change it up a bit. We need to start adding some other, our pies to the Italian tradition. Still keeping all those cannolis, of course, and sfogliatelle. So I decided to make these little mini sweet potato tarts. Okay, so for now, the last step before these go in the oven, you're gonna take a fork and you're gonna poke just holes just like that. So basically what this is gonna do is you don't want your pie crust to lift, to kind of like rise a little bit. It's the same concept as like when you're making a pie. You always bake your crust first. And we're gonna bake these in your 400-degree oven for about 8 minutes. So we're gonna take them out of the oven. And you'll see they're a little bit on their crust, just a little bit golden brown, just a tiny bit. And we're gonna take our filling that's in our fridge and we're gonna pipe these, and I'll show you how to do that. So what you're gonna do is lift the corner. You just make a little tiny hole in it, not too big. You can always cut more off. This is why I like using a Ziploc bag. Actually, my daughter Christina taught me this trick. I even pipe cannolis this way too. It's so much easier. And you're just gonna start piping them in there. So you're gonna pipe these almost full to the top. You can go a little over if you need to. These are gonna go back in the oven for another 5 more minutes. And then we're gonna put our marshmallows on it. Okay, so we're gonna take these out of the oven. The last step is we're gonna put marshmallows on top. You're gonna add about 3 in each one, or you can do 2, whatever you like. I like using the little mini marshmallows. And like I was saying before, the kids must love them, I think, because of the marshmallows. Just don't tell them there's sweet potatoes in there. Kids and their vegetables. Oh, perfect, and 1 more for me. All right, you're gonna put these in the oven for another 3 minutes and then they'll be all done. About 3 minutes, enough to get the marshmallows melted. It'll kind of look like a s'more. And you can see there kind of looks like s'mores. So you want them to cool down a little bit, not too long, just enough that you can handle them, because if you wait too long, the sugar from the marshmallows are gonna stick to the side and you're gonna have a hard time taking them out. So just give it like about a minute. So now to take these out, obviously you can't flip them over. So what I use is like my little spatula, just to kind of like get them around, or you can use a knife. So I use my spatula and my fork. So you can just start anywhere and just kind of like lift it. Just be very careful. And then you have it, your little mini tart. Perfect. And you can store these up to 2 weeks in your refrigerator. And these are really good cold. Like, it's so yummy. So now when you're done taking all these out, you're gonna wash your pan. Don't forget you have that second pie crust. You gotta finish making those. Just follow the same steps we did, same timing, and then you'll have it. You'll come out with about 46 to 48 little tarts. Perfect for Thanksgiving. And they're really good, like I said, cold, which this is gonna be hot, so just be careful, and cheers, bon appetit. Very good, yummy.